As we discussed in the last class regarding what are the different methods of placing the JavaScript files, right? Okay. So there are different ways of writing the JavaScript files, just like we had learned for the CSS. Okay. So we saw different ways of writing the CSS, and we also saw what are the different forms of writing the CSS, isn't it? So similarly, we have different ways of writing the JavaScript file, students. So one type is writing within the head tag, second is within the body tag, and third is you can write two different scripts, one in a head tag and another in a body tag, and one which we use most probably in the web development, that is external files, creating an external JavaScript file and importing that into HTML file. So this question may be asked for the exam. What are the different ways of writing the JavaScript files, or what are the different placements of JavaScript in HTML file? Okay. So depending on the notes that I have shared you, I will send you the questions. Okay. And for that you can write the answers, or you can write the complete notes also. You can write complete notes and later on study the questions, or you can wait for the questions. So questions I may send you a bit late after the completion of this unit. So I better feel that you start writing this. Okay. You will consider this as the next assignment, maybe the third assignment. Okay. Uh, and then you can study the questions, whatever questions will be there, you can study from that. All right. So we'll move to the notepad, and there we already saw, students, how to write the code within the header tag, right? So we saw this program, that is js1.html. What is this js.1.html? This is the first way of writing the JavaScript. Okay, this is the first way of placing your JS file, right? So how I'm going to place this? I'm going to write a script tag within the header tag. Okay, so you see here header tag. Within the header tag, I'm going to write the script tag, right? And then inside the script tag, you can include the code that you want to run. So how you are going to include the code? You can include the code using document.write statement, or you can write the functions. Usually when we write the JavaScript code, we write the functions. Okay, we create a function and then we write the code inside the function and we call that function. So how you are calling that function here? Input type is equals to button. I am creating one button first. After creating button, what I am doing? I am just clicking on that button and calling the function. So what is this on click? On click is one event. It is called as an event of a button. Okay, it is not attribute. It is called as what? Event of button. So when you create this event, so what you are going to do? You are going to call this function. So when I click on this button, what I will do? I will call this function. After calling this function, it will come here and it will execute this function. After execution, what it will do? It will generate one alert box. Alert box is just like a message box which will come with OK button. Only one button is there in that alert box. Okay, students, we also executed this code. So let us see once again the execution, and then what we will do, we will go to the next type of writing the JS. Okay. So I have saved it as JS1.html. Okay. So I will share the output with you. So this is the screen where you find that we get a button, and inside that button one value is written, that is say hello. Okay. So is the screen visible? See, this is the screen. So here what I'm going to do, one button is displayed. So when I click on this button, what is going to happen? When I click on this, one alert box is going to display saying hello. Okay. Yes. So in this way, we are writing the JS code using the first method. So what is the second method, students? Second method is writing the script tag directly inside the body tag. Okay. So open an HTML, open a head tag, close the head tag, open a body tag. And inside body tag, what you are going to do? You are going to write a script tag inside the body tag. Okay. See here. Script. Okay. Then we have type is equals to text / JavaScript, right? And then inside the script tag, you're writing document.write hello world. So you can put a semicolon as well as you can avoid a semicolon, no issues. Okay. Then close the script tag. Same code you can write within the head tag also, or you can write within the body tag also. But what is the condition? We have to compulsory take the script tag. Okay. So name of my file is what, students? js.2. Okay. Name of my file is js.2. Now let me run this code for you. See, hello world. Okay, it is giving us this message, hello world. This is a web page body. How it is displaying that? It is displaying with the help of what, students? With the help of this slide. Okay, with the help of document.write. Yes, it is going to print the data onto the screen. So this is the second method of writing the JS. Okay, this is the second way of writing the JavaScript. Now let us go to the third method. In third method, you can see that there is an HTML tag, there is a head tag. Okay, yes, head tag, and we have a script tag which is written inside the head tag. So in the third method, we are going to write the code. Okay, what is the third method? We are going to write in the head, and we are also going to write into the body tag. Okay, this is the third way of writing the JavaScript. So what you are going to do? You are going to write within the head tag also as well as the body tag also. So in both the areas you are going to write. You are going to write one script in head tag, and you are going to write another script within the body tag. This is also valid, students. Okay, but you must know when to call this code, when to call the code which is written in the head tag, and when to call the code which is written in the what, body tag. So you must be aware, or you must know where to call which type of code, whether I want to call the script which is in head tag, or I want to call the script which is written in the body tag. So that depends upon you. Okay, now see, let us see the code. So we have a head tag HTML, we have head tag, then we are writing the script. This is the first script which is inside the head tag. So we have script type is equals to text slash JavaScript, which is quoted inside the double quotes. Then we have a function say hello opening bracket. We have an alert box and displaying what, hello world. So this is the first alert box, okay, which will get executed, right, from the head tag. Then we are going to close the script tag. So here you can see the script is closed here, which is written inside the body tag, okay, which is written inside the head tag. So next you are going to open the body tag, students, and in body tag what you are going to do, you are going to write one more script tag. So script type is equals to JS. And here you're writing a message saying hello dot write hello. So what happens, students? Immediately if you write document dot write, it will display into the browser. Directly it will come as an output into the browser. It is just like a printf statements. Okay, document dot write is just like a printf statement. So whatever you are writing within the document dot write, students, immediately that will come on the screen. Okay, then end of the script tag. So you're going to end the script tag here, which is written inside the body tag. Now you need to call this, right? We want to call this function. We want to call this function. So how you are going to call the function? First, we have to create one button. So input type is equals to button. So when I click, on click is an event of that button. So when I click on that button, what it will do? It will call that function, which is nothing but say hello. Okay. So when I click on the button, it will call this function saying hello. Is it clear? But whereas if I write document.write, directly the output will appear into the browser. Directly it will come on the screen. But if I want to call it externally, what I have to do, I have to create one button or some message box, and then I have to create a function, and then I have to call it. Okay. Now let us run it and see. The file name is JS3. Okay. So name of file is students JS3. Let us see. So I'm sharing multiple screens with you so that it becomes easy to show me. Okay. So let me show you the output JS3. Okay. So now let me show you the output screen. So it appears like this on the output screen, students. See here. So this hello world, whatever this hello world you are getting, that is by default from document.write. Okay. It directly comes from document.write. And when I click on this say hello, what will happen? That on click event of this button will call the function. And inside that function, you are creating one alert box and it will display a message by default as OK. So that alert box internally has got what? OK button. We don't need to do anything with that alert box. Internally, it is having what? OK button, students. Huh? Okay, we are not creating any button. When you take alert, here, when you take alert, when we are going to take alert, what it will do? It will create one box, okay? And in that box, by default, one OK button will come, right? We are not going to write any code for this OK button. This OK button will come automatically when you use this alert box. The alert is nothing but a message box. So this hello world will come. What will happen? One button will come, isn't it? What is that button? Say hello. So when I click on this button, what will happen? This alert box will display. And when I click on OK, the alert box will disappear, right? But what happens with document.write? Automatically, it will come here, okay, into the browser, automatically it will come. So we don't need to create or call any boxes here. It is just like a printf statement, students, okay? So this is called as what? Third method of writing the JS or the JavaScript files, okay? Let us go to the another fourth method, which is called as an external way of writing the JS. Okay, see here now. So what I have done, students, you have to just make a note. If you have a pen, pencil over there, make a note. Steps for creating. This will be very important. They may ask you this, any program. Steps for creating external JavaScript file or code and importing into HTML file. Okay, so they may ask you a question in the exam: how will you create an external JavaScript file and how will you import that, okay, into the HTML file? And at the end of the unit, I will teach you the programs on external JS once when we complete understanding of the theory part. Okay, now see here, first step, what you are doing? First, you are creating a file. Okay, create file, and you're going to save as some name. For example, here I have given a name called as message.js. So how you are going to save that file? You're going to save that file as message.js. Second step, what you're going to do? You're going to create, okay, you're going to create a HTML file, okay, or HTML program. Then after this, what you're going to do? You're going to import this JS file into HTML file. It means you're going to create two different files here. Okay, you're going to create two files, right? Am I right? So first one is which one, guys? First one is, for example, I will take a name saying message.js. You have to remember what name you have given to the file. Second will be the HTML, okay, file. We are saving that with .html extension, okay? So you can give any name. For example, I will give as JS4. Clear? So these steps are very, very important. So they may ask you to write a code to find the even numbers or odd numbers using external JS. At that time, what you have to do? You have to create a JS file, and in that you have to put the code logic. And in HTML file, what you have to do? You have to do the designing. Okay, guys? So in this way, what you can do? These are the different ways of creating external JS. Okay, fine. Now I will just clear this. You can just take it from the video later. Now what I have done in message.js, I have created a file saying message.js. And here what I'm doing, function of message. I'm creating one function Name of a function you see, it is written in small case letters FUNCTION. Function MSG. Okay, name of the function, empty brackets. Then I'm taking an opening bracket and I'm going to write the code within this empty bracket. So I'm going to create an alert box, alert, hello, Java T point, that is Java tutorial points. Okay, so this is one famous website, students, saying tutorial points, where you will get all the programming languages details. So I'm creating an alert box, alert, see how you're writing in small case, opening bracket, double quote, semicolon you can give or you can skip also, but end it over here, right? So you are going to end this flower brackets here. Huh? Now what you're going to do, you're going to save this. So this will appear as message.js. Okay. Now you're going to create a HTML file. So name given for my HTML file is JS4. See here on the, you can see here all files, students. See, this is JS4 message.js, right? Yeah. So these are the name of the files. Huh? Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to write an HTML code. See, HTML, I'm going to write a head tag. So what is the rule now? How you are going to import that JS file? Compulsorily, you have to import within the head tag, students. Okay, compulsorily what you have to do, you have to import that code into head tag only. Okay, you need to import that code within the head tag only. So how we are going to import? Again, you have to write a script type is equals to text slash JavaScript. Complete the double quote. Take an attribute of source tag, script tag, that is source, SRC. So what is SRC? SRC, it is an attribute of script tag. Okay, it is attribute of script tag which will take the name of file which you want to import. So what is the name of that JS file? Message.js. Okay, name of my file is message.js. So how you are calling that? In the head tag, in the script tag, you are passing a source. Okay, and for that source you are passing the name of a file which is message.js. Okay, and then you are going to close this script tag and then you are going to close this head tag. So after closing the head tag, what you are going to do now? So you have to call that, right? So in message, what you have done in this message.js, what you have done, you have created one function, isn't it? So how will that function will get executed directly? It will not get executed directly. Okay, just like calling functions in your C program, what you have to do, you have to call the function. So for calling the function, what I'm doing, I'm creating one form tag. Okay, then I'm writing input type is equals to button, value is equals to click, on click is equals to MSG. Okay, so what is the name of the function given in this message.js file? The function name is MSG, and I am calling that where in the js4.html. Okay, so you have to call that MSG function, which is in which file? Message.js file. Okay, just see here once again. So this is message.js. What is the name of function? MSG. Okay, so you have to call this function. You have to import the file also and you have to call the function also. Both you have to do. So here I am doing importing of the file. Here you have to give the file name. What is file name? Message.js. And what is the function name that you have to call when a button is clicked? When you click a button, you need to call this, what, students? Function, isn't it? That is why you have to write the function name inside the button. Okay, so on click is equals to MSG. So when I am going to click on this button, what should happen? That MSG function should get executed. Are you getting that? So in this way, we are going to write the external JS. We are going to write the code somewhere. We are going to write the logic in external file and you are going to execute that through the HTML file. Okay. So this is the procedure which is used for the designing of the web pages. We write a JS file for validation of the data and then we call that validation file in the HTML file and then we execute it. So name of our file is what, students? js.4, that is js4.html. Now how will you run this code? We cannot run this message.js. We have to call it and then only it will run that. So we have to run the file that is HTML, that is js4.html. Now let me open this file for you. See students, so this is JS4 file. Okay, yeah, this is the JS4 file. So welcome to JavaScript. Who is going to display that? See here, see the code. So inside the body tag, what you have done? You have a text that is welcome to JavaScript. So inside the paragraph tag, we have welcome to JavaScript, which is in the body tag. And then one button is there. What is the value inside that button? Value means the text inside the button. What is text inside the button? Click. Okay, click is the text which is inside the button. Now what will happen when you click? On click is equals to, it will call MSG. Where is this MSG? This MSG is there in the message.js file. Okay, this MSG is where students, it is in message.js file. So in this way, it will execute everything. See the output once again. See, this is the output, welcome to JS, which will come from the body tag. And then we have a click button. The what is that? The value given for the button is click. So when I click, what it should do? It should call that MSG function. And inside MSG function, we have a alert box which will say something like JT point, Java T point. So when I click here, you can see that this is the alert box. This box is called as alert box. So inside that, what is printed? Hello. Okay, Java T point. So this page says this is the default text which is coming from the alert box. And this button is also coming default. It is the internal format of that alert box. Only the thing is that we are going to use this text. Okay, that is hello Java point. So only this hello Java point will come from your code. Yes, whereas this page says and OK button, what will happen, students? That will come by default from the alert box itself. Okay, so this is about how to place different files. Okay, students, this is about how to write different files. Okay, or the different ways of writing the JavaScript files. So in the notes, it is a 5 marks question. That is a JavaScript placement in HTML file. So 4 methods are there, students. First is in a head section, you have to write this code. Same code I am using everywhere. It is very easy. Okay, just you have to remember this function name. That is function say hello alert is equals to hello world. You have to just remember this. Okay, and you have to remember this format. On click is equals to, you are going to call the function name. Whatever function name you have given, you have to call it, students. Okay, fine. Then the second method, JavaScript in the body section. Okay, so in the body it will come directly. Then the third method, in the body as well as head section, you are going to write one script in the head section and you are going to write one script into the body section. But make sure we are writing the script tag. Okay, whatever script you want to run, compulsorily we have to write a script tag, and compulsory you have to call through button. This is the procedure. Then JavaScript in external file. Now, let us go to the next question, students, of the JS. So JavaScript primitives. Let us go to JavaScript primitives. Okay, or you can say what are the different data types that are included into the JS. Okay, students. See, all primitive values have one of the 5 primitive types. So we have basically 5 types in JS. One is number, string. Okay, we have Boolean, we have undefined, and we have null. So these are the different primitive data types which are used inside the JS, just like your integer, float, okay, char. We have 5 types. One is number, string, Boolean, undefined, and null. So number, string, and Boolean have also got the wrapper objects. Okay, so we are going to create something which is also called as an object. We will learn that in the next parts. Okay, so we can create data types. We can create the objects also. Besides supporting the number, just a minute, students. Okay, so here I was. Besides supporting the number, string, and Boolean data types, JavaScript also supports number, string, and Boolean classes. So we have something got as classes and objects in the JS. We will learn that in the upcoming sections. and we have got some of the data types also. Okay, all these come under the primitive types. Okay, all these come under primitive types only. Huh? Okay, so how they are stored? This is a diagram which will show you how they are stored. If we are using data types, okay, if we are using data types, it will directly store in the non-heap memory. Okay, it will directly store in the non-heap memory. And if we are creating an object, what it will do? Another area from the heap memory is provided. So there are different types of memory. One is a non-heap and another is a heap memory. If we create the objects directly, it will be stored into the heap memory. Okay. So these concepts again we will learn in detail, students. So we'll see one by one what are the different data types for today. Okay, one is the numeric literals, right? So they are of type number. Numeric literals means what? They are of type numbers represented in double precision floating form. Okay, so numeric literals basically they can be integer as well as a floating number, students, right? You can take integer as well as a floating numbers, right? And they are by default also called as what? Numbers in JavaScript. Okay, they can be integer or floating, and by default you can also call them as numbers, right? So literal numbers can be either floating or integer. Integer literals are strings of digits. Floating literals can have a decimal point or exponential. Integer literals can be also written in the hexadecimal form. So this is the representation like numeric literals. Okay, they can be what? Integer or they can be floating. You already know what are integer numbers and what are floating numbers. Integer numbers we can also write in this form, such as an hexadecimal form also we can write. Okay, so 72, 7.2, all these are called as numeric literals, a combination of integer, a combination of a floating, and a combination of what, students? Hexadecimal numbers, right? So when a question is asked to you that explain different JS primitives, so at that time you can start with this. First one is the numeric and string literals. Okay, so what about string literals? Okay, a string literal, it is a sequence of characters or string. Okay, delimited by either quotes or double quotes. It means followed by single quote or double quote. They can also include escape sequences like /n and /t. So it will allow us to use the strings in Java script. It is just like C programming, students. Okay, it will allow you to use the string data types also followed by a single quote or a double quote, and you can also use a /n and /t. Okay, so third type that we are using JS is null. Null means what? No value. So if you are taking null, we cannot take any value there, right? Okay, null means what? Empty. Then we have another, this one here, another data type that is undefined. Okay, we have one more that is undefined. The only undefined value is undefined. So what it means? We are not taking a specific value for that variable. What type of value you are going to assign to that variable, that will become the type of that variable. For example, if you take like this, suppose if I take var x, okay, so it indicates that there is no specific data type for this variable x. Var x means what? Var is a one data type, okay, so which stores all the types of values, okay, which will store all the type of values. If I take var x, it means the format of this x is not decided, it is undefined. If I take x is equals to 10, it will become what, students? It will become integer. So we are taking var, it is also one data type in JavaScript. What it will tell? We are using var when we don't know about what type of data we are going to store. So at that time we take var x. So if we take var x, what will happen, students? What value you are going to assign, no, that will become the type of the x. So suppose if I am assigning integer, x will become integer. If I assign 10.5, x will become what? A floating. If I assign some value like x, it will become what? A string. So in this way, the var will decide the type. So that is nothing but undefined. Okay, var comes under what? Undefined. So then we have Boolean values. Either you are telling it is either true or it is false. Okay. Yes. So this is all for today, students.